Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Conspiracy Corner from Beyond the White Noise. I'm Aaron O'Rourke. The guy to my left, as I can see it, is Stephen Foy. Give us a wave, mate.
Hello.
And the other guy who we've got on, you'll recognise from the paranormal side, is Kurt Logsdon. We've advertised for Ed Bogrovsky to come on today. We're not sure whether or not he can still get on, as he's currently quite busy with work and stuff like that. So if he can pop up at any point today, then he will be on. So yeah, that's us. That's who we are. This is who's going to be doing the show tonight. So, Steve, how are you, matey?
Yeah.
What have you been doing?
I've been okay. I've been a bit I've actually been a bit under the weather this week, but apart from that, just getting ready for tonight's third show in the Conspiracy Corner. Gathering resources for the topic that we're going to discuss tonight. And apart from that, everything's same as really. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, Kurt, how about you?
Busy, working. Maybe not having a job tomorrow, but we'll find that out later.
Why's that, mate?
We're not going to get into that conspiracy right there because
well, this is the Conspiracy Corner. I think this is quite.
This one I can't hide under a rock on this one.
If it's a Conspiracy Corner, it's where it's your views and your
okay.
Right.
That's fair enough. And whatever said here stays here.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
And with all these millions of people as well.
Aaron was privy to all of this back and forth that we had. We have something coming up, probably, maybe, who knows? We haven't talked. We're getting ready to work on talking about it, stuff like that. And I was having a moment where basically I was flipped my wig about it for certain reasons, and I'm not going to get into the certain reasons bit. And
I think that makes help people understand why, though.
Just issues in my head. How about that? I got head issues. And as you don't know that already, I had a senior moment. I had a senior grouchy old man moment. I admit to it. And what I did today is I was emailing my boss about what time I should have basically what time I should have my review. Sent the wrong email. And if you would have read these emails, it was just back and I mean, it didn't look good for me. It didn't look good.
I can vouch for that because I was part of it.
Yeah, I'm going to bring you tomorrow, Aaron. I'm flying you in. You don't know you're flying in yet tonight, but your tickets are being taken care of.
So if I get a cloth bag over me and stuffed in the back of a van, I'll know why.
No, it wasn't your fault, actually, dude. It really wasn't, man. It was me just not thinking straight. But yeah, what I did is accidentally send it to my boss. And my boss kind of sent it back to me saying, "Oh, you sent this in error." And I just woke up from an old man nap, the afternoon nap before the show and stuff, just so you're energized. I'm scrolling through it, going like,
"Can't say I've experienced one of them."
Oh no, no, that did not look good. Talking about cracking someone, that does not look good. Oh no. And then I called her just to make sure. And I was like, "Listen, we're dealing with something here that's really stressful." And I'll tell her tomorrow. But if I don't have a job from that side, that one job, I can walk across the street and get another job. I'm not too worried about that. But
go in with a bunch of flowers.
Yeah, I bring a bunch of flowers, and I'll wear mittens so they hide my tattoos. But she already knows I'm really tattooed up. She's a great boss, by the way. I mean, that's what's cool. I'm glad it was her and not the Historical Society. How about that?
Well, yeah. Your job could have been one of the displays there then.
Yeah, exactly. They just put in like one of those one-dimensional figures of somebody that represents somebody that could be me or anybody else, and they just stick it behind the corner, and it moves about as much as I do during the day.
Like a cardboard cutout that you see at the side of the road with the radar speed guns.
Yeah, exactly. And me just pointing to the gift shop, and that's basically going to be it right there, with a smile on my face and stuff like that.
See, I mean, I think you've probably got the only job in the world, really, where while you're working there, they're already sort of setting up a display for you, aren't they?
Yeah, I think
once you get to a certain age, I mean, yourself already, you can see where rigor mortis is already setting in. So
it's in my.
You could be part of the display before you've even retired.
It's my right arm, and I'm wishing I was a southpaw because it's my right arm. I say I'm a righty.
And you do everything with your right hand, don't you?
Yeah, and if once that goes, that's already in the borderline rigor mortis, stuck in some weird position like this. And no, not like this. More like this. Steve's having.
Steve's pulled the last 3 years out. So
we joke like this all the time, man. But that was awesome. That just and I'm just going like this, and my mind's racing now, right? Because I have to have this meeting at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning with her, and I'm just like, she's taking crack, and she's like a DC kind of girl, so she knows. And crack over here means a gun. And that's not what I meant by far. So what I'll do is I'm just going to say, and it crack to you and me means this. But in Liverpool, I'll just lie and say it means I'll just tell them to F off and just get up and walk away. So I'll come up with some sort of like Scouse kind of lie deal. But it won't be a lie. It'll be the truth. Because, man, I'm not going to crack some dude that's trying to help us.
You're saying it's Scouse. That's exactly what we do.
You guys are basically the only ones that really like to talk to in this world, minus my family. Like the
missus.
And the missus, obviously. The missus is a given. But it's hard to yell to Missouri. Yeah, it's hard to yell to Missouri sometimes. I get out there and get the cops called on me. So I prefer not to do that stuff anymore. But, nah, man, you guys got a great show, dude. And I appreciate you bringing me on, to fill in
it was props to yourself for jumping on at the last minute, just in case Ed can't exactly make it.
Yeah, I wanted to basically just run the chat room for you guys for about an hour tonight. And, because I got to get more into it and stuff like that, the way I look at it. I'm setting new goals for myself with this whole show thing, helping you guys out too, and me. And, it's not like I'm doing anything but hearing about the news. Have you heard the news? Okay. Bounty hunters, and this is where I'm going to rant a little bit. You're going to love this story. Bounty hunters in America are allowed to, in certain states, are allowed to, if they have a warrant, can go into your house, guns drawn. Well, this group of bounty hunters had a warrant, guns drawn to go in this house, and they were set up by a rival bounty hunter. It was the chief of police's house. And they kicked down the door, and they went after the chief of police. But they arrested the other guy, too, for the setup, for setting them up. But, yeah, the chief of police... I don't know. Rival business. I mean, it's a cutthroat business and stuff like that. So
probably wrong choice of words to use there, mate.
Yeah, it would. Yeah. That's true. That's definitely
I've got to be honest. That's probably something I'd do to read the Kurt or Morris. Do you know what I mean? That's just hilarious.
Yeah, I won't fall for it now for you, Aaron. I know your thought patterns, and I kind of think around about this.
No, the thought patterns while I'm on the medication.
But off the medication, well, I have to pull.
I don't know the thought patterns, mate. So
then I got to pull off my medications in order to track you down and figure out what's in your head.
Start a whole new religion and everything soon, mate.
And so poor Steve actually is going to grow hair. He'll be looking like a hippie he'll be a hippie by the end of the
I'm telling you now, mate, if that happens, you've got my word. That would be a fucking conspiracy.
Well, Aaron and I were discussing that issue about doing a show one time. We jump off our meds and wait a little bit till everything starts rolling in our minds and just do rants. I mean, just get on it, just rant about everything. Because I think that would be an absolutely epic show. But the hard part would be getting back to some sort of normalcy. Well, there's no such thing as normalcy in our lives, so normalcy doesn't exist.
The hard part would be getting the ban lifted from YouTube.
Oh yeah,
and possibly resuscitating Morris. Interpol be looking for us. I mean, it would get ugly quick. So
I agree. But so you guys had a good topic. You guys were going to talk about the Illuminati night. What's going on in the conspiracy world in general? Since I really don't keep up a lot on it, what do you guys?
Conspiracy news in general was something I picked up on. I'll just grab the story up that quick while I'm telling you. That I noticed about 4 o'clock this afternoon our time. Something to do with North and South Korea have actually gone at each other.
Oh, they're throwing punches right now, yeah.
They're throwing a lot more than punches, mate.
Yeah, missiles.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's one thing that flagged up pretty quick this afternoon, our time here. I don't know what the extent of it is. I don't know what what details surround it or anything like that. But it's something worth keeping an eye on.
Yeah, it might get ugly because what's going on with the North? They always provoke South Korea, whether it's shooting over the borders, planting landmines in the DMZ, and they always do it. And South Korea never replies. It's kind of like a quiet kind of thing, kind of deal. Yeah. But then they send they sent missiles or they sent mortars or artillery. I heard they called it tens of artillery, which means a lot in what we're getting over in the States on CNN and stuff like that. But they're always provoking. I mean, North Korea lives to provoke. I mean, this is how they operate, just to say, hey, I exist. Remember, our people are starving to death. Yeah. I mean, we got millions starving to death, but we're here. So basically, I don't know, man.
See, now I've got one here, the explosion in China.
Yeah.
Apparently it was caused by the Pentagon's secret space nuclear weapon.
Oh, that's a good find, mate. Well done.
Yeah, keep going with that one.
Yeah, I mean, I can't pronounce the name of the place, so please just,
do a screen.
Spell it for us.
It kind of looks like Tijuana, but it's not.
Tangier or something like that.
Tianjin.
That's actually not bad. That well done.
We'll go with that.
Yeah. Tianjin.
It's apparently war was waged as an act of kinetic retaliation by the Pentagon in response to China's currency war. So yeah, I mean, Kurt, you're American. What do you think on that? Do you think that could be legitimate?
Nah, we're too worried about Donald Trump being elected president, and that's put me on the fear. I fear that. I fear that more than I ever feared Ronald Reagan or Margaret Thatcher. I mean, having the Trump as president, I mean,
that guy's a legend.
He's a clown.
He's trying to buy an MLS team, isn't he? A Major League Soccer team.
Yeah, he owns a bit of everything. So I mean, and I can go on and on and on. American politics.
I'll tell you what I did find funny about him this week. Speaking of Donald Trump in particular, is that there was a Sky News report, nothing report really. The fact that he turned up for jury duty in a limousine, and he made a big kerfuffle about it. And I was thinking, well, it's Donald Trump. Why wouldn't he?
Yeah.
At least he's turning up for jury duty.
I heard he can't drive at all. He can't.
It wouldn't surprise me. He probably doesn't have to. Probably never have to.
Well, no, that's true enough.
You know what I mean?
I mean, a little bit more on that explosion in China there. Yeah. Apparently, immediately following the explosion, the Chinese government began to fly black helicopters in formation across Beijing. Says here, Chinese dissidents took numerous photos of these helicopters. I'll even pop it up on the screen for you there. Yeah, man. See, I'm getting more technologically advanced.
Oh, right.
Ooh, that's definitely formation right there.
Yeah.
I thought the ooh was because of the big words I was using there.
or ooh because of the big words. We can use that.
Yeah, whatever. So yeah, I mean, they look like they're in a little arrowhead formation, which kind of goes the same way as the whole nuclear warhead type thing.
Yeah, they looked like Apache helicopters as well, not like transport ones. Or they could have been, I suppose.
They could have been, yeah. So basically, America and China are already at war, and we just don't know it yet.
What's your take on that one then, Kate?
My take on that one, we can't afford to be at war with China just due to the fact that everything, if you think in the Western world, is made in China. But right now they're talking, the military's lately talking in the States that Russia is going to be our biggest adversary now, not China, because China devalued their cash. They devalued their money recently. I mean, that hit us hard financially.
Putin, he's a bit of a he's got a bit of a trigger finger, an itchy trigger finger, hasn't he? He's
yeah.
He could turn out to be the modern day Hitler, I suppose. And I don't mean that in a flippant way. I mean that in a very realistic way, because he's constantly.
He's unpredictable, isn't he? That's the thing.
He is, yeah, he is. He's very unpredictable with the way that he deals with his business. You're either on his good side or you're getting ready to be killed. But he'll make you think you're on his good side while he's getting ready to kill you.
He's got little man syndrome, man. You know, I'm talking about the Napoleonic complex. I think with a lot of money and a lot of power at his fingertips, and I think that's how I think he holds on to that so strong because once he loses that, there goes his name in all the world newspapers and this and that, and I see him basically just playing that game. Um, But if you think, because they're really spending a lot more now, they're really reinvesting in the Russian military. I was watching a show the other night, or on the Russian Navy. It was a documentary, and just saying only like 10% of its Navy is seaworthy right now. Behind us, the U.S., then it goes Great Britain, then it goes India, and then it goes Russia, I think they said, and because they were spending all this money towards the end of the Cold War, right after the Cold War ended. I mean, they were really revamping everything, and they can't keep up now. They don't have the money. They don't have the money to do that.
Yeah, that's basically what happened after the collapse of the USSR, weren't it, and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean,
just jumping back to the Chinese explosion, I've just found this story. Whether it's any significance. First rainfall. When was this actually posted today? This was first rainfall to wash over Tianjin. That actually sounds better than you, that lad. Since a series of blasts struck a warehouse in the district last week.
The other thing I heard about the explosion in China was two chemicals had mixed together, and the only thing that was needed to make it go boom was water, and then it started raining, and then the fire bobbies turned up to put out fire, sprayed a shitload more water on it, and made an even bigger bang that you could see from space.
Well, I don't actually know that it's fit. China's like the Koreans, the North Koreans, that is, and especially if you're talking Red China, you don't get a lot of information out of them. It's dribs and drabs. Unless there's a big major incident and you can't escape from the coverage, then you don't really hear nothing. Do you know what I mean? Even with this, you don't really hear anything. It was on the news when it happened. I think we posted a breaking news video the night it happened. About 2 minutes. It was like a mobile phone video footage. It was a massive explosion, but there was all kinds of cyanide containers and all kinds of chemicals and all that in the area. And it's literally obliterated the entire dockside. You know what I mean? There's nothing left.
They said it's 227 times the regular amount of cyanide that should be out there or in drinking water and stuff like that because of that explosion. So, or 277, one of the two. I mean, the exact number, I'm not sure, but yeah, I was reading an article on that, and I mean, you talk about the people that are going to die because of that. Not only like the firemen that went in and were pretty much obliterated, and then you ended up getting and then the next day there were fires, but nobody died. Basically, the cars were starting to catch on fire now. I guess it was just kind of an offshoot.
Yeah, there was like a few oxygen cylinders that eventually ruptured because of the heat, and then they popped as well. You know what I mean? The next day.
Okay, is that what happened?
I think so.
Scary situation, really, isn't it?
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's one of them, isn't it? You've got to store that sort of stuff somewhere, I suppose, but you'd only really come across these problems when a major incident like this happens.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it goes unnoticed. It's just an industrial area. You probably don't even think about what's in there or what happens in there, or what gets stored in there until something like this happens.
Well, I wouldn't want to be the person in charge because they said there's going to be severe reprimand, which basically means you're going to be shot dead, and you're just not going to hear about
China,
it.
You probably run over with a tank.
Tiananmen Square, Part 3 or 2,
Ends up on a menu.
It's not a good situation at all, I suppose, is it? But wasn't it right in the Docklands as well? Because I know there's been a lot of upheaval. I was talking to a lad that I used to work with who transports containers for a haulage firm over here.
Yeah.
And the amount of hold-up that there's been from container ships coming over from China to here, he said that everything's delayed by an unknown amount of time. So
Yeah, they'll certainly have a knock-on effect.
It's going to have a big knock-on effect.
Big knock-on effect.
If it's something really important for the way the country runs and stuff like that, I suppose. But you know, we'll see.
Do you think it'll affect other countries? Like, I mean, let's look at Liverpool for a second. You are a port city, a huge port city.
Yep.
And if anything was, let's say, containers weren't blown up, or it had some sort of crazy fallout on it, or whatever happens after the explosion that they had. I mean, is that possible to transfer over? I don't know. I'm just asking the question.
Well, the ports. It doesn't matter what country you live in. It could be a nationwide. Global thing, where you know, a lot of stuff that we get here in the UK and in the US, you know, chances are it's come from China.
It is. Yeah. It is.
You know, so if you look at that as a collective, you know, they're exporting it worldwide. Yeah, they stick it on whacking great big ships that carry hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of tons, and they distribute it worldwide. So it's not just us that are going to be affected. It could be us. It could be America, Australia, France, Germany, Hungary, Europe, Ghana. It could be anywhere, mate. Any of the continents, any of the states and cities, and it's going to be wherever, mate. It just depends on, obviously, what was there at that time. Because there's going to be a bit of a logjam there now as well, because of all the stuff that's not being allowed.
As far as I know, the entire area is still on lockdown anyway. They're going to be going through that for months, I think. You know what I mean? It's one of them situations that happens. Probably never happens. You know what I mean? But it does. Yeah, I should say so.
Yeah. It looked like definitely almost borderline, and like the explosion itself was purely monster-like. You know, I mean, especially because somebody caught, I guess, on a video, like a cell phone or something like that, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah, on the night it happened, the breaking news video that we actually put up on YouTube. It was 2 mobile phone footage of it from different angles. First one was a bit closer than the second one, but the second one was probably the best because the first guy obviously could feel the blast a lot quicker or whatever, and he sort of ducked down, so you didn't really see enough of it. But the second one was from a bit further away, and the size of the fireball that came off it was just horrendous. It looked like a bomb had been dropped, to be honest with you. It did. I mean, if you didn't know there was a fire there already, you would assume something's just been dropped on China. That's exactly what it looked like. You know what I mean? Without a doubt.
It could have been though as well. That's the scary part, and you're just not going to know about it, are you? You know what I mean?
Well, no, that's it. You know, I mean, at the moment it's just an explosion in an industrial factory, isn't it? I suppose, you know, which contained hazardous materials.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what they did, and they weren't properly contained, and this and that, and then that's why the government's real quick to point the finger at the company or, you know, whoever was doing it. And I think basically, you know, you could go back to the government on that one. I mean, that's lack of government oversight right there. And, you know, in the UK and the US, there's government oversight pretty much on anything. Whether or not they have their fingers in it is one thing, but there is strict laws. And you'd expect more from China, you know, as they're kind of progressing to be a, you know, well, they're already probably close enough to being a world power now anyway, that the fact is there'd be a lot more oversight.
World power, though.
I'm sorry?
I'd say there'd be a reluctant world power.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm not so sure myself. I actually think there's a lot that goes on behind closed doors in China that we simply don't even get to hear about. I think they're already a world power, and I think they have been for a good number of years. They just haven't shown it.
Well, not everybody has to flex the muscles to show how powerful they are. You know what I mean? China's probably one of the biggest countries of export, if not the biggest country of export. You know,
I agree.
I mean, look at you go around your house and pick up 10 things, right? Any 10 things you like that'll have a made in imprint on it, and I'll get you to about at least 6 out of those 10 will be made in China.
Yeah, I know my headphones are the new ones that didn't work on the last show, Aaron, the gamer ones. Those of course made in China, and they're pieces of junk. And I only spent $29 on them. But aside from that, Yeah, like everything else. I mean, your cell phones, and first for a while there it was Japan. Remember, in Japan when China first
Taiwan,
came, yeah, Taiwan. When Japan kind of came out after World War II, basically with
laptop made in China.
it was Japan. I'm seeing double the Steve. This is scaring the hell out of me,
Yeah, the
dude.
Chewy used
If
to.
one Steve talks, the other Steve stares. I love it, dude. This could be an epic show. Yeah. Well, Japan was known for making real crappy stuff and just shipping it all over after
Mhm.
World War II. Then all of a sudden, you're starting to see their cars were coming out in massive numbers, and they were really good. Everything that made in Japan was good, and then everything China exported was crap. And now all of a sudden you're starting to see a lot more better things like Samsung phones and this and that, all coming from China one way or another.
Oh
And
yeah.
I think, like Aaron and Steve, you were saying, I think we've pretty much, I think the Western world, coming from Europe all the way over to the States, basically, you got cheap labor there. They mass produce in numbers, something that our own country should be doing to give people jobs. And it's easier for groups, and this is not even a conspiracy, but it ties into it though. I mean, you got stores in the States like Walmart, you got Targets, everything, like, and Aaron does exactly what you said. Like, you pick up 10 items and you read it, made in China, whether it's clothes, whether it's kit, whether it's something else. And I think what we had a big movement in the States here. Everything should be American made. There's a big movement for a while, buy American made, and I really didn't buy into
Yeah.
it at first. But now, getting a little older, thinking about things, it should be. But then the prices are so high with unions and this and that, that our everything would skyrocket. So I don't know, man. I just find a lot of fault in all the different countries buying directly from China. I mean, and that's just me. I mean, it's just not being overly patriotic or
Well,
overly
it's cheap
proud
as
to be
chips, isn't it?
Western, but
It's
I'm
cheap as
sorry.
chips. It's as cheap as chips because I mean we have a similar problem here where there's thousands and thousands of jobs where like the national minimum wage over here is I think about what £7,
Yeah, it's just under £7, I think now. Yeah,
you know, and
per hour.
and yeah, £7 per hour there or thereabouts, and it could be putting your hand down the U bend of a toilet and cleaning it all out. That could be your job for however many hours a week, and people are going, nah, not doing that. I'm not cleaning no one's toilet. So then you get your influx of foreign workers coming in,
Yeah.
and they're gonna go, right, okay, we'll do it.
Yeah, same in the States. It's a mirror image of each. I mean, our countries, minus a few here and there, we're basically a mirror image of each other. Basically,
Yeah.
we're the demon seed of Great Britain, I think. And a lot of things we've
No,
learned.
I'd say more the bastard child of
The bastard, yeah, the redheaded stepchild of
Soulless one.
but we've learned from Great Britain, since we were one of many colonies. Americans tend to think we were the only colony, but I let them think that because I don't want to explain about India, all other parts of the world that were, occupied. The sun never set on the British Empire. But at the same time, we learned basically from you guys, and then finally our industrialization took place a little later. And then, but it's the same mentality.
Yeah.
I just saw something really good on the History Channel. The Nazis in World War II made a spitting image. This was a propaganda movie made by the Nazis. I mean, this is really propaganda about the Titanic. And they had a propagandist, and Goebbels was involved. He gave the okay to this guy, this director, but the guys had huge egos. Goebbels had a limp foot, couldn't fight in the army, but he wanted to be king. He wanted to be up there in the Nazi party. Well, they filmed this whole thing about the Titanic, and they portrayed the British as being almost like so money hungry, like the White Star Line being so money hungry they didn't care about the regular people. But one of the stars that came out of the movie was a German officer who supposedly was riding on the Titanic and saved everybody. But yeah, it just blew my mind. And countries use that today. I mean, it's still kind of the same thing.
No, it's that's what a shite in it. I mean, swiftly moving on from where we are.
Yeah, let's go on to what the topic was supposed to be for tonight.
And what was that, Stephen?
It was the actually, I suppose it kind of links into what we're saying. It was actually exposing the Illuminati, secret society within the music and entertainment industry. What we were going to discuss with Ed Bukowski. I have just messaged, by the way, so hopefully we can reply within the half an hour or so. So yeah, that's what it was all about, and what their influence is in the music industry and what to look out for and stuff like that. And I know you found a few links yourself, didn't you, Alan?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, you know, whether it's just simply because you've got no interest in it or whatsoever, you know, or whether or not you've just never noticed it.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of Illuminati signage going on in and around music. Apparently, there's certain artists who I'm not going to mention, just because, you know, if it's true, you know, I don't want their boys coming in and kicking me door in and while I'm a kid. You know, nobody wants that. There's plenty of signage around to state that they are involved with the Illuminati. Now, some even some gang signs as well that you may see over in America or indeed over here in the UK. You know, read into it what you will, is what I'll say to you.
From what I've looked at this week myself, like it goes much. I think it actually started way back in the 1950s.
Yep.
To do with scientific tests on the human brain and what. Just one sec, my son's just walked in. So
it's all right. Get him on air, man.
It's all right. It's the mascot.
Yeah, he can be Ed Bukowski.
Yeah,
hairstyle.
Yeah, it actually started back in the 1950s from the piece that I read this week, when they've done the scientific studies on the human brain and found that it actually resonated at a certain frequency around the 44 hertz sort of range, and they found that, or they discovered that at that sort of range, we weren't docile as such, but we were easily influenced. That's where subliminal messaging came from back in the movie theatres back in the 50s and early 60s. They simply tested it, I think, with the bottles of Coke, and you'd make you go and buy a bottle of Coca-Cola while the movie was flicking over, and that's how it started.
Kind of works.
You know, yeah, there you go, exactly. There's no subliminal messaging of any kind on this footage. I've just got to say that, just from a legal standpoint, it wasn't us. So, but that's it took you a while to get that, didn't it? Hey?
Everyone donated $1 million.
But that's where it sort of led from there, and it wasn't long after they found that out that the music industry back then was basically just a live band sort of scene, I think, like a jazz band or whatever, stuff like that. Rock and roll certainly hadn't kicked off yet. You know what I mean? As regards to like Elvis Presley and stuff like that. But once that did, all recording studios and radio stations sent out their radio waves on or around that frequency. Now, if you fast forward to today, you've got iPods or whatever. You whack your earphones and while you're off doing whatever you need to do during the day, you're listening to whatever music you're listening to at that frequency directly into your ears.
But it's
like a level of control that's not. How can I word it? It's not like you haven't got your handcuffed or anything like that. You know what I mean? It's sort of like keeping like a sort. Yeah, kind of, but not in your face kind of way. You know what I mean? It's very subtly done. Is my point, I think.
It's no longer visual or
no.
You know, it's a bit more than that now, isn't it? And I suppose with what you're saying, I mean, Kurt, you can back me up on this one. It's exactly the sort of thing, and around the same frequency as what Barry Fitzgerald was talking about on Sunday about the low humming.
That's right, yeah.
So you know, whether or not you know Morse code or anything like that, I suppose that could somehow be integrated into it. But then also, even with what we've got on now, the headphones that we're using, you know, what's to say that there isn't some form of frequency that you can't hear at all. Where it is playing.
Well, if you look at if you do a simple test to do is
it's sitting in your brain.
Yeah, exactly. If you look at the settings, for instance, like you just pointed out, then for these headsets that we're using now, the different settings are different hertz, and one of the default one is 44.1. That's the default setting, 44.1 hertz. I think the next one after that is 192 or something like that, depending on what sort of quality you want.
Yeah.
And that's again, it's like a double or maybe triple the frequency. Do you know what I mean? Further up the scale. But the default setting, just on these headsets, on your laptops or PCs at home, is 44.1 hertz. It gets used everywhere. It may even tie in with the harp, I suppose. We talked about with by Fitzgerald on Sunday.
Yeah.
So it's certainly a bigger field, and I think that's where the music industry started the influence with the Illuminati and stuff like that. I think that's where it began.
I mean, I'll show some pictures that I've found on on one of the websites here, right? And what I'm going to say beforehand is that I'm simply showing something that I've found. Yeah, I'm not saying that this particular artist or this particular artist is in any way, shape, or form anything to do with the Illuminati, right? It's just simply something that I've found. That's it. I don't believe that these people may or may not be part of the Illuminati. Yeah, and I think I covered the three of us on that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely, dude.
So, if anybody's agents deciding to watch this, don't try and shoot on me with a lawsuit because I'll just wipe the floor with you. Right, I mean, on this one here, we've got a picture. I mean, Rihanna, everybody knows her, she's a global superstar. Yeah, and basically all she's doing, she's throwing two fingers out towards the crowd. Now, that's been interpreted as devil's horns because of the way her music has been, the way she's altered her music style over the years. Yeah. Now, if this was back in the 60s, 70s, whatever, if you had the Beatles up there and they done that, it was part of the peace movement.
Yeah.
So, it's it's an exact same symbol almost, isn't it? So, and it's come up with two very varying meanings.
Yeah, it's also the time period to, like, is that what you're saying, Aaron? That's like the era that it's being done. Then if you backtrack to the 50s and let's say she was a lounge singer or something like that, with, like you were saying about the jazz and stuff like that.
Yep.
It would have been definitely looked into, even pre-peace sign. Would have probably been looked into as something more. I'm sure the churches would have flipped out, and the real conservative edge of society would have flipped out.
Yeah.
But I agree with you on that, dude. I tell you, we live in a different time era or time period.
I think people are too quick to jump onto something like this. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a few more pictures of Rihanna on this particular website. Where you make it them what you will. Do you know what I mean? If you've got your own opinion of it and you want to go, oh yeah, this particular person is definitely within the Illuminati, that's fine. That's your opinion. That in no way is my opinion.
Do you feel that the Illuminati, though? I mean, it's almost like, from my standpoint, sometimes people blame the Illuminati, but sometimes the truth is just the truth, and we're just humans. This is just the way we operate. This is just the way we do things.
I think people just want people to blame in a lot of things. They run out of ideas on what to expect from certain situations and different things. So what do? They blame it on the unexplainable. They blame it on the people that aren't going to come out and say, look, it's not us. Yeah. It's quite easy to blame a murder on a dead person.
Yeah, true.
They're not there to defend themselves. So, it's the same thing. A lot of people believe also that the Illuminati don't exist.
I don't think the Illuminati once existed, but I think for conspiracy theorists, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist, I find some of them very interesting, though, these theories. But I think some of these theorists out there just give too simplistic of an explanation. Oh, it's the Illuminati. Yeah. Or it's the Knights Templar back in, or it's this group or that group. well, let's look into it a little more about maybe there's a person behind all this that's not part of the Illuminati. As we talked about Putin earlier, the power that he, the billions of dollars he has. He's a billionaire many times over. He's the leader of one of the most, one of the biggest, toughest countries in the world. And one of. He's not part of the Illuminati. I think theorists tend to hope there's something more. They can't face the facts sometimes. It's just a truth. I mean, sometimes life is like that. We just get knocked on the jaw. We just got to get up and move on with it and not do the same mistake again. I don't know.
I mean, a lot of people also say, like, the religion Kabbalah.
Oh, Jewish mysticism, yeah.
Yeah, they say that's the Illuminati, but a lot of people think that specific religion is the Illuminati. I mean, a lot of people think it's strictly American-based. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm afraid not. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of symbolism on the American $1 bill, which probably feeds fuel to the fire for people believing that it is an American institution.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna pull up a picture of a $1 bill now.
Okay. Don't get mad if I steal it because I'm not doing well cash wise. So.
That's fine.
I'll reach for this.
I don't think it's very spendable. I don't think it's very spendable.
Well, maybe at the gas station near my house it is, but yeah, I want to see it blown up because that's interesting. Though I've never seen this before.
So if you click on the box where my face is, that'll come up right up.
I got you right here. Okay, it's everything. Well, the 13 illuminated. Well, 13 goes for the colonies. Okay, the enlightened colonies.
Yep.
Phoenix is not an eagle rising from the ashes or ignorant world. That is an eagle, by the way. It's not a phoenix. The tail feathers risen through the heavenly state. That depends on your belief. Now, to the left is where it gets interesting, When they start talking, we start using Latin and stuff like that. 13 layers of brick, 72 bricks. I mean, there could be something in the illuminated eye, Architect Lucifer, I find to be that's propaganda at its best right there. That's a dim answer. Whoever did that is very dim.
Look, that backs up what I was saying earlier on. Kabbalah.
Oh, I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
72 bricks, 72 powers of the name of God in Kabbalah.
Oh, interesting. I was watching Pi the other night. That movie Pi. And with the numbers and stuff like that, they were dealing with Kabbalah and mysticism and stuff like that.
Well, the other one as well, the number 20, is it number 23 with Jim Carrey?
Yeah, 23 was the other one.
Yeah, and I've not seen Pi, I'll be honest, but I've seen 23, and I mean, bloody hell, it must have been it's a good few years ago now.
Yeah,
I don't really remember too much about
it. It's not one of those. I fell asleep at the end of it,
It kept me watching. I can remember that much.
Yeah, I mean the numbers were incredible. I mean the freak out of when they took the Torah and they figured out the guy was doing it by numbers, and he was like losing his mind. It was just like a total watching somebody have a meltdown mentally. But I'm looking here, as you pointed out, to the date Illuminati formed and equals 666. I'll call BS to that. And I'm not going to say the word, of course, because I can speak cleanly now without anything. I find that to be BS. I mean, that's just digging deep. I mean, what are we, demonic now all of a sudden? You know what I'm saying? I mean, if I'm demonic, that would I'd take me back to
demented, maybe.
Yeah, demented, maybe, but not like that. But it takes me back to England, where my ancestors came from. I mean, directly to Maryland. So I guess I could blame you guys for the evilness of it all. But aside from that, no, some looks interesting. Others somebody just has nothing better to do than think outside the box, which is good. But in all reality, that's not the. I just find it to be this.
Well, the other one that I have seen was I think it was the Illuminati. It was a while ago, and somebody had folded up American paper currency in some form of way.
The Twin Towers.
It may have been actually, yeah.
That's
it's what you know, this is a topic that'll always divide opinions. I mean, a conspiracy is basically something you're going to talk about with your mates down the boozer.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
true.
a conspiracy is anything.
Yeah, it could be anything. Anything could be a conspiracy. I mean, but I think for some people, it steps over the bound from mental stability to paranoia, and I see that with some of these theorists out there. I mean,
Yeah.
you got some great ideas to my right, but slowly they're moving to lunacy to my left.
Yeah,
And
it's like politics, isn't it? You know, they're either far left or far right. There's no right in the centre with anything. You know, there's no true meaning. I mean, look, I mean, I was saying before about a lot of things being taken out of context to do with the Illuminati. Now, I mean, Miley Cyrus. I'm not this. Personally, I can't bear the girl. Do you know what I mean? And
I don't like her.
you know,
one bit,
I
so.
think somebody should just set fire to it and be done with it. You know, look, I mean, I'm assuming that may have been for an album cover. That's, you know, whatever she's done. She's an attempt at singing. She's covering her eye. How many times have you been walking down the street, something's blue in your eye, and you've gone, oh God, and you've covered your eye up so as to nothing else going in it? Does that suddenly mean you're part of the Illuminati?
No,
Well, obviously not, but you know, I think there's a lot more to it than when you're posing for an album cover like that.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I mean, as I've said, I don't like Miley Cyrus. I'm nowhere near a fan of hers. You know, I think she's the spawn of the devil.
I think so. I'm with you.
She is, mate. She's the seed of Chucky or some
See,
shit.
the thing is the Miley Cyrus is a perfect example of the way the Illuminati seem to influence in the music industry and the entertainment industry as well.
Yeah.
Like Hollywood, for instance, they tend to get these young stars. It's interesting to note that Miley Cyrus, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, Justin Timberlake,
Selena Gomez,
Justin Bieber, I think.
So
They all came
he's
through.
another one he can
They all
disappear
came
with.
through the Disney Academy, if you like, the Disney Channel
Okay.
former presenters, and
Okay.
they've all ended up like that in some way.
Okay,
The
well,
only
let me
one-
show you something else then. Okay. Yeah.
Well,
Ba-ba-bum.
The
And it goes.
the Little Mermaid erection.
Yeah, you've seen that film, Kurt? Yeah.
No, I have not seen that, but that's the guy's foot. But I know what you're thinking, Aaron. So we better
No,
not.
they're talking there, you whopper.
it's not the guy.
They're talking a Mo type of bulge, you know. You know, there's, for years people have been saying, you know, there's been sexual innuendos in Disney films and stuff like that. Apparently, Walt Disney himself was a practitioner of the occult.
He
you
was.
know,
Yeah,
and
Disney
he was linked directly to the Illuminati.
Well,
So
exactly. That's it. That's pretty much the gist of what we're trying to point out here, is that it's not like you were saying before, Aaron. It's not the artists themselves. They may not even get onto why they're doing it, especially if they're younger, like the teenagers or something like that. They're just doing it because they're living the dream with the music contact or whatever.
of course.
You know what I mean? And they get just throw up a sign, a symbol. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
By whoever the choreographers are, and they're just doing it because they think the fans are loving it. But what they don't know is that they're getting influenced to do it.
Well, if you look at this one here, again, the Little Mermaid, yeah, it's very phallic, isn't it? You know what I mean? The whole Little Mermaid film.
No, I see where you're talking about right there. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, okay, someone may have put that in.
That hand needs to be moved over a little bit on top of it.
Yeah, I see where you're going with that, man.
You know what I mean?
I mean, even down to Toy Story.
Yeah.
One of the Toy Story films. I've seen one of the stills from the film, and it was quite shocking. And I've tried to spot it through the films, and I can't see it. So it must only be very.
Yeah,
brief.
the one thing I will stress is that the stuff that you're pointing out here is based on the frames per second perspective. Like that one picture there, for instance, on the Little Mermaid, is one picture, one frame from 25 pictures that would make up 1 second of film. So you would never notice them watching them at normal speed. You'd have to slow it down and go frame by frame.
See, now this one,
before you'd spot them.
This one, apparently this was meant to be a little nod from the special effects team who made The Lion King. It wasn't meant to say that. I mean, if you do look at the star formation there, you can kind of make it out, yeah.
Or you can make anything out if you really wanted to.
Well,
I mean,
there's the S, yeah. I mean, and that to me doesn't look like an E. It does look more like an F.
it's pareidolia. It's like in the paranormal world, it's pareidolia because I can see it right there. So I mean, it's just we're like you were saying, Aaron, that it's our mind just kind of we're so used to we're trained to see the lettering.
You've been told in this picture here that that's what it says. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So straight away, your mind, although it's
I
wonderful
totally
thing around,
agree.
it's probably the most feeble. So
yeah, if you've never seen that if you've never seen that one on the right, and he just asked you what can you see, you could probably, like Kurt just said, you could probably see 1,000,001 things, couldn't you? To be honest with you, you know what I mean?
It says down the bottom here that it was pretty much a nod to the special effects team, and it was a little sign off SFX, which apparently it's the meaning for special effects. So again, this one, Rescuers. How many of us have seen that?
Loads of times.
What is that?
Little painting there with apparently some lady with a Norks out.
That's not a bad one. That wouldn't be a bad one.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
I've heard this one. This one, yeah, the no panties one.
Naughty. Yeah. See, now this one's ridiculous.
Yeah,
That's digging deep.
Yeah. Again, that one's ridiculous. And I said to Steve just before the show, only looking at this now and seeing that, have I noticed it here on the left-hand picture. I've never ever noticed it before.
I've never seen. That's again pareidolia, I think. But I heard it wasn't only Disney that did that. I heard a lot of cartoonists back in that time era, or long before that, long before the modern day ones would put like their own little touches in there that you really wouldn't see unless you get, you framed it, as Steve was saying.
Yeah.
Can I just say, Kurt, you're looking really dark there, mate. What's going on?
Yeah, switch a light.
I got a huge storm coming by. Let me turn on the light real quick.
It's gonna blow up.
A huge storm.
I'm the one weighing everything down. I'm so fat these days.
Is he sitting on everything?
Yeah, that's better. Oh, I thought we were going to see like a hurricane or a tornado going through the place live on TV.
It's just the after window what Kurt's doing.
Well, go ahead. Repeat what you were saying, Aaron.
Nothing, mate. We were just saying that DuckTales asking about the Illuminati.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at that picture there now, yeah.
Oh, that's kind of cool. That'd be a cool little tattoo to have right there. The skeleton.
He's just done a perfect example of not noticing. That was a perfect example of it not being noticed and spotted.
Really? What did I miss?
Take it away, Adam. Go ahead.
Right. So you look at that picture, right?
Oh, ask me about Illuminati on the right.
The clues in the title. Yeah. This thing here being the title. Yeah. You look at that picture for 10 or 15 seconds and tell me what you see. Tell me if you see anything representing the Illuminati.
Yeah, to the right I do. Right. There's a sign that's kind of stuck to the wall next to the shelves. Ask about the Illuminati.
Good lad.
Right there, right where you were, like 2 seconds ago.
Spot on. Absolutely spot on. Yeah. It's not a sign either. Clearly.
Whatever it is, whatever they put in, yeah.
Some time, have you?
Oh, it's the eye thing, yeah.
The eye thing, yeah. Ask. Yeah. Ask.
Yeah, that's
Illuminati.
Yeah, that's it. I'd say yeah on that one. That one I definitely give a yeah because that's a little more. That's more forward to you.
More purposeful, if that makes any sense.
I can play the video and show you. I can play the video related to it, and then you can see whether or not you can spot it on the video. Yeah,
play it.
Scrooge McDuck.
Well, nice little advert for Renault Clio there. Well done.
Yeah, good job, dude.
There you go. I tell you what, he'd make a cracking bacon butty.
Bird, who do you think I've got to be the richest? No, what's wrong with me? Looks like a capital distortion causing an astigmatic lipitude in the myopic receptor.
I was just on an episode of the DuckTales on Disney. Was it?
Yep.
See, it's the little deliberate ones that points it out to me. Some of the more stupid ones, yeah, I totally agree with you. It's just basically you're trying to see too much into it type of thing. Like the Tangled one before, you know, with the word sex in the hair. That's just ridiculous. That's not. It's just tied up in the hair. You know what I mean? That's all that is.
You could do that with a lot of
precisely
things,
yeah.
you know, and it's just not worth going that deep into it, really. Well, I don't think it is anyway, you know. But I mean, if we go back to the music side of things, I'm just trying to find another one now that we were talking about earlier on. I mean, there's one a Michael Jackson one, Blood on the Dance Floor, but the dance floor's a checkered floor.
Yeah, I've looked into this a bit more actually with the checkered floor business. I found it very unusual that a lot of the MTV Music Award performances over the last, say, 10 years or so, Madonna, Miley Cyrus, Rihanna, they all had some, Beyonce I think as well, they all had some form of black and white checkered floor or design within their act in some way. It varied obviously with different acts, depending on who it was and what time of the year it was and stuff like that. But it all had it in there in some way. I think the Miley Cyrus one in particular, what was that Robin Thicke guy came out in a black and white striped suit, for instance, you know what I mean?
It was in the black and white, wasn't it? And where she had the big foam finger thing.
That's the one, yeah.
Right, I'm not going to get into too much detail with Miley Cyrus. She's an oxygen thief as far as I'm concerned.
She burnt her bridges. She basically burnt her bridges. And the other week when she came on stage and literally announced to the world, "This is for all you Bible-loving fans," and burnt the Bible on stage. That's not satanic.
That's a way to endear herself to.
Well, if that's not satanic, I don't know what is. You know what I mean?
It's not satanic. She's just a dickhead.
She's just there's no satanic with her. She's too dumb to even know anything about Satanism.
Well, my point being is she might not know anything. She might be exactly that, pretty dumb and not know anything about it, and she's just following what she's getting told to do.
Yeah, that's what I agree. Make your millions. This is how you're going to make your millions.
She's a child star who had millions and millions and millions before she'd even finished her teenage years. Since then, she's gone slightly off rack, hasn't she? And you know, she's gone and completely ruined herself. She's probably getting hooked by whatever, and you know, shoving whatever up her nose. If she wants to, no, forget it. No, I'm not carrying on with it. I mean,
take a deep breath, lads. Take a deep breath.
This one here, the Michael Jackson one, we've just been saying about blood on the dance floor.
Yeah.
Now, apparently, the little bit of writing underneath it was saying that this was Michael Jackson's way of telling us that he's going to get murdered by the Illuminati. Right? Yeah.
He's a fictional. He made himself almost a fictional character in a sense, though. If you think about it,
look at though is that Michael Jackson was known as Wacko Jacko for a reason.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, you know, because he was coming out with stupid things like this for years. You know.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
The guy who was accused of killing him, the doctor, what's his name?
Oh yeah, the guy. Yeah.
He was convicted. He wasn't accused. He was convicted.
Was he? Oh, see, that's how much I paid attention to that. You know, so you know, if anybody wants to do a quick Google search and let us know whether or not he's ever been linked to the Illuminati.
Well, what I can tell you straight away, Michael Jackson hasn't. He's the only star that hasn't. In fact, he fought it. He actually done tours before he died, speaking out about them in the music industry. And
what I mean is the doctor.
Oh, the doctor, sorry.
Yeah, the doctor was part of the Illuminati. Right,
couldn't tell you.
Another one from Michael Jackson.
Oh, that looks like that's like tripping on acid when you're sitting there looking at that. Imagine that taking a life of its own.
Yep. I mean, I had this album because I was quite a fan of
Yeah,
Michael
I've got it myself.
To be honest.
Hold on. Let me stop. I don't mean to interrupt the show.
Go on.
Figures. Keep going.
Fuck off.
That's all I wanted to get from you.
Don't like it. Right, if we look at it on the right hand side of the picture,
That's
you've got the eye.
Oh, yeah. What's to the left though on this over the same doorway or whatever?
Well spotted, because I spotted that as well.
Jolly Roger.
To me,
Jolly Roger. Okay.
It's Jolly Roger, but to me, it could interpret the Skull and Bones Secret Society. The eye being Freemasons, the Skull and Bones being the other one.
Yeah, I mean, what do the Freemasons think of all the Illuminati? Because it's almost like two separate entities, but they're the same in a way. I don't know. I don't know.
To understand it fully,
There's another bit of signage for you. There's the
little kid naked. Yeah, I can see that.
No, that's just a typical. No slander.
He's dead, sue me.
He's still got family, dude. I'm talking about the skull. Yeah.
Oh, that's the same one as the duck, kind of, in a sense.
Yeah, it's Scrooge.
Oh, that looks like more, let's say, a crocodile skull than anything. I mean,
I don't know what it's supposed to be.
This is actually
if you look at the top of the where it's got the word dangerous.
Yes. Okay, I see that.
Are they two cherubs? Are they? But that could be
wow.
The compass symbol.
Yeah.
Freemasons. That could be, I suppose.
Well, I always thought the two were linked anyway, in one form or another.
Well, yeah, like I was about to say, then to understand how they're linked, you'd have to go back to when the Illuminati was formed. We're way back in 1776. The Freemasons have always been around. The Freemasons weren't really a secret society. They would literally what it says on the tin. They basically went like stonemasons and carpenters and stuff like that. That basically got each other jobs and looked after each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To make sure to make sure they got the work, to guarantee the work, and that's how it started.
Yeah, my first wife was my first wife's dad was a Freemason.
Genuine Freemasons. I don't think there's anything dodgy about them. But the Freemason secret society as a whole got influenced and penetrated by the Illuminati, set up by Weishaupt back in 1776.
Which is this dude here.
Which is that dude there. If you
really?
This one is allegedly Rihanna from the Grammys in 2010. Now we've looked at this. And, you know, it's a fake basically, and
it's not a tattoo at all. Yeah.
No, that's just being added on for effect. Not at the time of the Grammys either. It was someone's put that on the photograph, and also to back that up, it also says it here it's fake. Yeah. Just showing that nice picture. That's all.
No, carry on.
Again, Miley Cyrus.
See, it's the symbolism. If you look at it from a symbolism point of view, you've got again a Miley Cyrus. What's that say there? Bangers tour or whatever.
Bangers, yeah, she hasn't got bangers here, mate.
Well, that's Ian Nero there. Probably at some point you will have as you pay for it.
Now this one I could actually see because the guy that's so far up himself. He's just the biggest muppet.
Who is this? Who is he, Aaron? I'm actually not familiar.
Kanye West.
You don't know who Kanye West is?
Oh, I don't like Kanye West one bit, dude. He's no.
Apparently the new kid's getting called Easton.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Well, we have a town in Maryland named Easton.
Got one called North. You've actually have a baby's called North.
Yeah. The baby's name is Northwest, and then the new one's apparently getting called Eastern West. Surely to Godchild Social Services should be in there.
Oh no! That Rihanna Devil Horns, that's like heavy metal. I mean, that's such a play on.
This is exactly what I was saying earlier on when we first opened that one up. Yeah, what's she doing there? I know a lot of lads, you know, who listen to heavy metal. They listen to a whole heap of it.
Yeah.
You know. It's part of the territory. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm not saying Rihanna's any heavy metal chick because I don't think she is. I'll be honest
Yeah.
with you. She's
So
such
it's got to be said as well that you're into heavy metal yourself, aren't you, Kurt? A lot of the really heavy stuff is.
Yeah, I'm into the heavy stuff. Yeah, but not like metal. It's a cross between metal and crossover punk and this and that.
Yeah.
But that's what I listen to now.
Some of the really like the really heavy stuff is kind of look a Marilyn.
I'll tell you who's got the darkest metal of it all. Go to Norway. They have death metal that is just up and beyond
Yeah.
anything our countries can
Yeah.
produce.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I
but
love
that's like a satanic thing, but I don't think it's linked to the Illuminati. It's just doing a theme of sorts, you know.
antivirus system.
Oh, it was a good one, this one, yeah.
That's cool.
Antivirus system.
A nicely done video with tons of examples of the all-seeing eye using in music videos and corporate logo.
Could you actually play that there, or was it?
Yeah, can you play a few minutes of it?
I shall try for you. Because it's there. 12 minutes long. Yeah, when voting, please keep in mind the pareidolia phenomena. That goes back to exactly what you were saying, Kurt, over some of
Yeah.
sometimes a triangle is just a triangle. See, so even there it's telling you, use your fucking brains. Because you could look at the way the curtains are, you know, some stuff in your house and it's like, oh, the Illuminati
you've got to
invaded my house.
You've got to draw the line, haven't you? You know what I mean? You know, you've got to draw the line somewhere. Do you know what I mean?
But I don't think some people know how, and that's the scary
That's
thing.
the scary part. You're right, it is. That's the scary part. Right, let's see if we can get any noise on this. Ooh.
Given.
$1 bill.
Close up of it. CBS,
yeah, I can see that.
Nvidia.
I wouldn't even think twice of it. It's still got that.
That's not an eye.
No, that's
not an eye.
That's still representative of that sound thing though, that we were. And there's a name for it, and somebody told it to me after the show.
Yeah.
It's just another version of it.
See, now, if you look at it the other side of things, we have a program over here called Celebrity Big Brother. I say Celebrity Big Brother. These are people who have been on the telly once and trying desperately to cling on to the 5 minutes of fame.
Okay.
And their logo is the eye.
Yeah, it is. It has been from day one, hasn't it?
Yeah. Even before, and I use the term loosely, celebrities were starting to be used. Yeah, I look at that one like that. That is absolutely perfect. Because
that's a given.
That ties into yet another
Yeah.
another little conspiracy theory that's going on there.
All watching.
Not just that, but you know,
Reptile and amphibian.
royal family of reptiles, and Barack Obama was some form of hamster or something. I don't know. You know, but you know, if you look at every bit of symbology around the world, you could quite easily.
My apologies. I'm getting Skyped right now, fellas, and
Oh, what is
That's
it?
it.
I'll just let you. Hold on. Let me do the see you.
Loudspeaker.
That was the see you button. I really got to get it. Girlfriend. She's on break right now, and I have to.
Oh, mate, you're gonna get beaten.
Nah, she understands. Okay.
See, you've got those companies had the all-seeing eye clearly visible. Some companies try to hide these symbols by distorting them a little and making them less visible. Yeah, I mean, there's a classic one that I only noticed a couple of months ago. It was I'm not saying it's part of the Illuminati because the symbolism is nowhere near what these are. FedEx.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if you look at the E
That's
and
just
the
a word.
X.
FedEx, isn't it? Yeah.
If you look at the E and the X, yeah, and you look around the shaping of it, it's an arrow.
Right.
And I'd never noticed that. So what I'm saying is some stuff like that is hidden in plain sight. Again, it's subliminal.
Yeah, but that's kind of like the point I was trying to make earlier on with the subliminal stuff. A lot of it,
communications. Look,
a lot of it is misinterpreted. A lot of it is looked into far too much. You know what I mean? And you've got to draw the line somewhere. But I do think that they're influenced.
See, look, Bono from U2.
Now, yeah, if you just stick it, what's happening there? If you just leave that one on, for instance, or any one of them, right? If you take Bono's album cover there, if it was just him doing that, and you were never to see that ever again, that's just another album cover.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. There's nothing to it
between that one and the one that we've seen of Miley Cyrus earlier on.
Well, there's not.
There is. It's the other eye.
Well, that's here near out there. It's just covering one eye.
I just think it's covering one. I think it's just covering one eye too.
What, your good eye, your glass eye, what?
Well, I don't know. Chap's eye.
No.
But then if you play that video on, you see more and more album covers. It's Eminem, for instance, or singles, whoever that is.
She's not covering her hand with her eye. Her eye with her hand.
No, but her eye is covered.
Well, look at Gabrielle, the singer from the 90s. She
had
a lazy eye.
But that's the whole point, though. It's not necessarily because they're covering with the hand. It's the fact that only one eye is showing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But with Gabrielle, though, it was a different reason. It was something that she.
The Wolfman. If you go back to the Wolfman, was not. Yeah. The Wolfman is just the Wolfman being creepy. I mean, there's no.
Where's it that fracture one's actually quite good. If you go back to that fracture one there.
Oh, that's cool.
If you look at the way the glass is fractured, pardon the pun, to where the actual break in the glass is to his eye, you could actually see the pyramid with the all-seeing eye on top. If you think back to the dollar bill.
Yeah, and around if you squint a little bit, yeah, I suppose.
Do you know what I mean? So I suppose you can see where they've interpreted it.
I don't even think they've looked that far into that one, Steve. Let's be honest. I think that one is Season of the Witch. I think it's more to do with the reflection on the sword.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
it's more to do with the reflection on the sword than what it is to do with. I'll take any script I can.
Oh, yeah, especially lately, his films are awful.
It's the one eye. Yeah. So I think that's where they got that one from, or maybe not. I don't know. Wolfman, here you go, Kurt.
I agree with Kurt on the Wolfman one. That's just them being creepy. It was a remake of an old classic, wasn't it? So
yeah,
they're just doing it for the intimidation effect, I think.
Yeah.
And that's it.
No, 12 Monkeys, I believe.
Cyborgs and that.
About 12 Monkeys, I believe, was Illuminati based anyway.
See, Cat in the Hat.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
That's just more of a Disney tripping kind of thing.
What is it they're trying to point out on that one?
I think it's the eye thing again, because
you can see
this eye's covered by the fishbowl.
But you can still see it.
Yeah, you can still see it. Yeah, but it's still covered.
Okay.
Why is the sound? I've just nearly. Oh, God bless his computer needs to stop playing 6 on me. It's not fair. He's 39. There you go. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Right where she's looking through the door. Say, are you for real?
That's cool looking. But is that really added? Go back one on that. Never mind. We're just back from that. Right there.
Video's moving far too fast for you to even pay.
Okay, that's fine. No biggie,
Quick pause.
Right there. Pause. See that eye right down below, right there. But that looks like added. That looks added to it. I don't know. That looks added.
You'll have to watch the film, Kurt, and find out.
That's a good point. Fuck it.
Yeah. See, I mean, it's too easy to say. Yeah, this is. Yeah, Terminator 3. He's supposed to be a cyborg. Yeah, so he's got one eye covered. He's the Joker. Batman. What really?
No, the Batman Dark Knight ones were.
What's in boots? Really?
Very good at the symbology. I respect the Dark Knight films in general. I think it was let me get this right now. I'm gone. In the Dark Knight, I think it was the Dark Knight Rises. Commissioner Gordon was actually giving out the plan for to try and stop the bomb going off or whatever. It's like towards the back end of the film.
Yeah,
And the map that's on the table, where he's giving out his orders and stuff like that, like the sort of makeshift control room, actually has on one of the streets that's right by his hand the word Sandy Hook. So
yeah,
there's things like that pointed out. You know what I mean?
I've seen that part. Yeah, it's
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's. I think we've spoke about this privately, haven't we? To do with the likes.
Yeah. I'm not going to go into details of Sandy Hook itself. Like I'm just saying, it's just why Sandy Hook. That's what my question is. You know what I mean?
Again, it could be subliminal messaging.
For what purpose, though? It's always that question.
Forget about it. You know what I mean? The government seems to be doing everything they can to try and cover up Sandy Hook.
Yeah.
I mean, without going into it too much, do you know what I mean? They've knocked down that building now, and apparently that building was empty for years.
Yeah, but
it never been used in years.
I know it's a controversial thing. Like we'll look into that a bit further on another show, I think. But the point is, I was trying to make is that it's just there, and it was just like, why could have said New York, couldn't it? Could have said any other city, but it didn't. It said Sandy Hook. You know what I mean? And
maybe Gotham is just not that far from Sandy Hook.
Possibly. Who knows?
I do.
How about you? How about you, Kit?
About what? What? I
think I fell asleep.
What was that?
I fell asleep. No, I gotta.
Oh my god.
Oh, about Sandy Hook. I don't know.
No, it's all right. Never mind.
All right, mate. You going?
I'll hold off on saying anything about Sandy Hook.
It's his. He was having his old man nap. He was having his old man nap.
Yeah, I had the moment of looking to the side at my phone, and then I don't know, man. Something got I don't know.
Porn. I mean, going back to Rihanna, she's apparently the princess of the Illuminati. So again, I think it all comes down to symbology, doesn't it? I can see why people would say that through some of the stuff that she's had in the videos and stuff like. I mean, you showed me a picture earlier on, Steve.
Yeah, I'll grab that up now. Actually, while you're talking, go ahead.
If you can pop that up, it's easy to see by that picture why.
Yeah.
And I shall tell you why I say that in a moment. Just you show that, and I'll get this other one for you, and you'll see.
Just bear with me 1 second.
Yeah, go ahead, Dave. Take your time. We're not going anywhere.
Right, okay. Again, bear in mind that this is just one still picture in a 25 to 28 frame per second image of Rihanna's video, Umbrella, was it? Yeah. And the first thing that obviously becomes apparent is how disfigured she looks. And I'll let you take that from there.
Yeah. Now, if you're looking into it from a conspiracy point of view, if you look at where Rihanna's arms are, yeah, and then where the legs are, you've got triangle, 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 big triangle, yeah. Now, if you can take that screen off for us, Steve.
Yeah.
I'll just. The picture that I was going to put up, I've lost. Where the flipping exit gone? I hate it when that happens. Right, bear that picture in. There we are. Right. Now, compare it to...
Sorry, Ed Brigowski.
If you compare it to that one now...
Yeah.
You've got the pentagram, yeah? Bear in mind how Rihanna was earlier on in that picture, yeah? One arm there, one arm there. Her head was down that side. Triangle, triangle, triangle.
Yeah.
Yeah? It's,
It's uncanny, isn't it?
It is. It is, and that's just... You read into it what you want, do you know what I mean? Again, it's probably just part of the video. where she's.
Oh yeah, well it is. It's just
okay. I'm sorry to interrupt you with the pentagram. Oh, that looks so cool. Ed Bogrowski misread because it's 10 o'clock. It shows on the sign thing, but in the U.S., it's a lot of the Americans don't know that you're 5 hours ahead and this and that. I do, but Ed wasn't too sure. So
what you're saying there is it's Steve's fault.
No, I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying what Ed asked.
Hold on, what have I done?
I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying what Ed was saying. He thought it was 10 o'clock tonight because it's listed at 10 o'clock, but people don't realize. That's why I always put like something underneath it that says 5 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah. But in the actual event description, it does say 10 p.m. here, 5 p.m. Eastern. I always do.
Really.
I don't know what mistakes happen. That's fine. I mean,
no biggie, man. Ain't no biggie.
It
ain't no biggie, man. It happens. I'm well aware of it. I'm always when I send it out, I'm well aware of it. I don't even change the time. I just add it later.
Yeah.
Ain't no biggie, man.
You're not well aware of it.
I am. I totally do. But
you're not well aware of anything.
I'm aware of that, you twat. I had to throw that in at you real quick, but it wasn't the worst I could throw.
Listen,
but,
just remember something, mate. You're a guest on my show. Alright? You don't do this on your own show.
Our show.
Oh. Now it's a battle. Whose show is it? Now I'm confused. Who do I talk to?
Whoever speaks to you first, pipe down.
What's Ed actually saying? Is he
he's dated his daughter to soccer now. He's a soccer dad now.
Oh, cool.
Yes, like Aaron's a soccer mom. He's a soccer dad. Yeah, and there's a big FUUUUUUUUUCK.
Just saying sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I think
it happens.
Did you get that lung out there, mate? Yeah.
Yeah, you alright there, mate?
I'm trying to spit it over to you, Aaron, because you'll need it in about 10 years too, man.
I'll be fine, mate. I'm just gonna get myself an iron one. It's fine.
Okay, we could. I want an iron along too, man. I want my own.
Yeah, you'll get a collapsed one if you keep giving me lip.
Hey.
So I think with the Illuminati, personally, I don't think they're around anymore.
They are. They are.
I don't think.
I don't think that is. If they are, I don't think that is
present.
As present.
They are. It's
wrong.
It depends how you interpret them. I mean, in today's
going by a new name. Do you know what I mean?
Who knows? I mean,
the governments. What better way to hide the Illuminati than to have them as the people who are supposed to be running your country?
Well, the shadow governments in the States is supposed to be the Illuminati. I've got no proof of that. But I've got no proof there's even a shadow governments in the States. But okay, it's probably the best one to ask for that.
What do you mean? Explain shadow governments for myself and watchers too.
Shadow governments is basically, looking at it from an American point of view, you've got like the US president is basically the public front. He's the man in charge, the commander in chief or whatever. But the person making the decisions
is his cabinet.
Basically, the people behind him or above him, or his cabinet, like you say. That's the shadow government. You never really get to find out who's actually top dog. Who's in charge.
No president ever makes a move without their cabinet. I mean, there might be one or two people in their cabinet that don't agree with it, but it's usually done basically by vote proxy. It's just like in England too. I mean, it's the same thing with David Cameron. He doesn't make any decisions without certain people, his people, as I like to call it, as a president, his people, same thing. I mean, that's
all in the hairs, mate.
I'm not saying, it's just splitting hairs right there.
The perfect example of a shadow government theory is the Dick Cheney, what's his name?
Bush.
No, what's his name? God. Wolfowitz.
Yeah, I remember that.
No, that crew. They've been around behind the scenes since George Bush Senior, and maybe before that. You know what I mean? That's the sort of shadow government. They're always in there in the background, but not actually in the front. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Blackwater had a lot to do with things. I mean, when you own a company that's that big, that's got all these contracts with the military in wartime,
Yeah.
I mean, you have power. I mean, you have a say in what goes on. I mean, not necessarily politically, but it's easier for you to sway voters or the Congress to kind of, fund the war using us only.
You're basically like the proverbial mercenary, aren't you? Because you basically work for the biggest paycheck, and that's it.
It's true. You're so right on that. I mean, that's hitting the nail on the head.
How about another angle on it then with the Illuminati Rothschild family?
Well, that's what I was just about to mention. That's a very good point. That the Rothschild family is probably the biggest, richest family in the world at the minute.
Everybody owes them money, don't they?
Well, that spans back from the original forming of the Illuminati back in 1776. They actually started off in Frankfurt, which is in the same area where that started, around the same time as well, apparently. They changed the House of, what does it stand for now? They changed the name to Rothschild because it stands for like the Red House or House of Red or something stupid. Back in the 1770s, it was kind of, it was like basically this is where you get your money sort of type of thing. You know what I mean? And he's basically just branched out from there. But they're so rich, you know.
You did there.
Oh, like that.
Thanks, branching out, yeah.
But the
oh, see, I didn't say a word. I did not say a word. I'm just sitting here quiet. That wasn't me.
Shut up! I'm giving you the history lesson here. They literally got their influences in so many pies. I mean, like for instance, for example, a rare type of orchid flower, for argument's sake. The Latin name for it, whatever it may be. I have actually got a picture, I think, but I can't remember where it is. In the Latin phrase of that particular rare flower, for instance, will be the word Rothschild or Rothschildy or something like that. You see it in rare species of butterfly, insects, any other giraffe. There's a giraffe that's got named after them as well, I think. You name it, you know what I mean? They're into all kinds of stuff. They literally are. So the Rothschild shout, Adam, was a very good shout.
How that family name? Where are they out of, Steve? Do you know?
Originally, I think the Zionist Jews, to be honest with you, that lived in the Bavarian region of Germany.
Okay.
Which is now southern Germany, I think.
See, my thing is, okay, and this is aimed at you and Aaron. This is just a question I had, and okay, you have the Illuminati, the overarching Illuminati that has its fingers and everything and controlling this. Well, what happens when a world war breaks out? Does the Illuminati pick a side?
Well, not really. I mean, going back to the Rothschild in particular, what Adam mentioned then, it was the French Revolution War. They actually influenced that. One of the Rothschild family members, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but I've seen a documentary.
Call him Bob.
You call him, yeah, Bob. Bob Rothschild living in London. Suddenly started selling all his shares on the stock market over here at the time. Because he'd obviously put out that it was Wellington at the time was going to get beat or whatever by Napoleon. So because they were obviously a big banking family at the time, and anything they did, any smaller businesses that were trying to compete with them did what they did to try and get ahead of the game, because they were always ahead of the game. So they basically sold all their shares. Then the guy in the Rothschild family member in France, living in a chateau somewhere or whatever, bought all them shares. It's the same family. Bought them all on the cheap, but then Napoleon won the bloody war.
And that doesn't do well for the Rothschild, does it? I mean,
if Napoleon wins it. Because they bought all them shares on the cheap.
Okay.
Do you get me?
Yeah, I get it now. Okay, so they benefited by Napoleonic.
Yeah. It's that old adage, isn't it? That no one, there's not one side that doesn't benefit from it. Do you know what I mean? The way the war.
The only people that are going to benefit from war are the ones that are pumping the money in.
Yeah.
Precisely.
Do you know what I mean? It goes back to what we were talking about earlier on in the show, to do with the explosion in China.
Yeah.
How many of the parts are going to come from there?
Who knows?
You may never know. Weapons around the world.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? War's like a game of chess, I suppose, in a sense. And the only people that are going to win are the ones that have got the most money.
The war is there's money involved in it. I mean, there's that age-old adage
slash oil, isn't it? You know,
follow the money. Yeah, well, even that's money. You know what I mean?
follow the rich white man.
Yeah, it's just that's the way they influence the market. It happened on 9/11. I think the shares fell. Then obviously the market, and then afterwards they went back up again, and they got sold for God knows how much, making them millions. That's what funded the war process, probably. Wouldn't surprise me.
You know, there's not a whole lot you can do about it. You know, you've just got to.
No, it's something like that for years. It's been doing that for years.
You can't go up against them because you're never going to win. You're never going to win. Before you get anywhere near them, you're going to have a bullet in your head. You're going to get abducted and tortured and God knows what else. Going to be experimented on.
I actually started to try and map the Rothschild family tree, if you like.
Mate, listen, you know, if you look at them, it's similar to the rumours about the royal family over here. They're meant to be that inbred, they're stupid. Do you know what I mean?
The royal family's another topic for another show, but they are.
I don't fancy being beheaded, mate. Treason's still a beheading.
It's alright, we'll do that one. We'll do that one on location, mate, from France or somewhere like that. Especially
we'll just go over to Kurt's house and do it there.
I don't care, dude. I've already get myself into so much trouble these days. I just don't.
Now, you see, from your point of view, though, with you living right on top of Washington D.C.,
it's a mess. D.C. is
Yeah, look at the symbology on Kurt's cap there. See, it looks like the what was inside the pentagram.
Actually,
my hat.
Actually, that's a very good point. That's the Washington D.C. United.
Yeah, MLS.
It's an eagle.
Yeah, it looks like a phoenix.
It's an eagle. It also looks like the Nazi eagle.
It does. But but the weird thing about DC United, their fan base is Hispanic. Where you go to other places, you get even European fans there. You get, each supporters have their own. We got the Bar Brava here, and they're out there throwing bottles on the field. They used to have to stop games with people shooting bottle rockets at players and shit. We took mob mentality. We learned from the English real well.
Actually, I'm looking at that again. Actually, we just tip your head forward slightly for us.
There you go. Yeah,
looking at that again. That probably looks more like the.
Now, if you compare it to that,
the Roman eagle, if you like.
It actually looks the same as the dollar bill almost.
Take your ass off and show everyone your hair, you crank.
Nah, you'll make fun of it.
Quick, put your hat back on. So I'd like to apologise to any of you.
I knew that's why I slick it back. I wear it slicked back, but that's what. This is what the hat looks like. Aaron, I knew you good. No, that's why I am so glad.
It sounds like that, Adam, mate, that I'm glad I'm bald, it really is.
Oh, now, this is what it looks like right there. See, it kind of does look like the dollar bill that Aaron had up.
Oh, yeah, it is.
It's exactly the same.
Nice little pentagram on the inside.
Right, so you've got.
That's a star. It's just like a star with the soccer ball in the middle.
Yeah, but is it a St. David's style star?
I'm back to the beanie. Okay.
Looks like a bigger prick than before.
See, there you go again. I'm not
involving myself. If you look at the dollar bill and the silly bears on Kurt's,
head
Barnett cover.
I've actually got a dollar bill.
Yeah, it's not worth much, mate. It's not worth the paper it's printed on.
Oh no, I've just got it for symbology.
Sleeps with it in his knickers, don't you, mate?
Yeah, I actually use it as a bookmark in me Assassin's Creed book.
I wouldn't use it for anything, mate. The dollars are useless.
Dollars, actually,
What?
At least better than Canadian.
You want to get into the whole federal dollar system, do you?
At least our money's worth more than Canadian dollars. That's all I care about.
Your money's not worth the money it's printed on.
What are you talking about?
Fort Knox is empty.
We left the gold system a long time ago.
Fort Knox is empty.
That was history, dude. Like, we won 1776 when we beat your ass in independence.
Oh, there's a funny year that's come up again, 1776. I wonder why.
Yeah, because we had the Illuminati on our side.
You see the badge on the back of your dollar bill, the fake one.
We were just a mob with guns, basically. Yeah. That's all we were. We were a mob with guns. I mean,
so that's just proven our point, really, then, hasn't it?
It kind of has.
Yeah.
Kurt's in the Illuminati.
If I was Aaron,
He's even wearing the merchandise. Look. He's got his own merch.
Both you guys, put it this way: your bank accounts would be a lot bigger if I was part of the Illuminati right here than what you think. The only guys that tell it to me straight.
I'd have to go into hiding.
I would. You guys would be rich, and you guys would be rich. I'd share the wealth and the power.
Yeah, but then we'd be influenced, and I don't want that.
Oh, you'd want it if it was in your bank account.
If the Illuminati want to line my pockets with gold, mate,
I'd be happy. I'd hold my pockets out and say, fill it.
I'll shake hands in a funny way as much
Yeah.
as you want, you know.
The secret handshake and stuff like that. You know,
Yeah.
would be good
Well,
stuff.
like the stone cutters with Homer Simpson and stuff. You mean?
Oh, mate, yes, most definitely.
Great episode, that.
Most definitely. Right, I think, you know, considering Kurt was saying he's only going to come on for an hour or so, I think he's done quite
Yeah,
well.
I've had a block. Actually, I expected just to hang in the chat for a bit and then go out, but then all of a sudden,
The Vicodin kicked in.
that or all the other meds kicked in. And I dropped only one F-bomb, but it wasn't personally aimed at anybody. It was just a slippage. And I try not to do that on any shows now. I'm really trying to, but sometimes Aaron pulls it out of my mouth for some strange reason. It just, well, not like
The way
dude, I did not mean, I'm looking at the camera and did not mean it that way.
Don't look me in the eyes like that, mate. It's wrong.
Go like
Especially
this.
seems that my laptop's a lot lower down than what I am.
Aaron, go like this real quick.
Come on, lads.
You used to do that by the look of it.
No, I'm just trying to make sure you look better on camera because I just pulled it
Anyway, before this gets X-rated, just a big, going to give a shout out to Ed Bregowski now that he's been in touch. It's we'll try and get him on for the future show. Things happen sometimes like that. It's not a big problem. He's a great bloke anyway. So
Did Kurt say he was off to his daughter's soccer game?
No. Ed's off to his daughter's game, and
That's what it just said.
that's what he just said.
I thought you said Kurt. I heard Kurt.
Divvy.
It doesn't matter. Ed's off to his soccer game. He's a soccer dad. You're a soccer mom.
It's his,
And we came to that conclusion already. Hey, no.
his daughter's soccer game.
Yeah, his daughter
Well,
plays actually.
Let's
week.
hope that they
win.
Right,
Yeah. But no, I want to thank you guys for having me on. Actually, though, man. I mean,
It's a pleasure, man.
because the way I look at it, I'm not into the conspiracies that much. But the way it was broken down, and well, yeah, I know. But the way it was broken down, by both you guys, I think a lot of people should listen in more. Adding the Disney, adding the history what Steve was talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, this is honestly one solid show.
Well,
But
I'll be honest with you, mate. It was more so when we were saying just before you came online, you agreed to come on that that we thought Ed was cutting it fine. No, obviously we knew he's not going to let us down without a reason.
No.
It was a genuine mistake on Ed's behalf, and then obviously Steve told me that you were coming on, so we decided that we had to dumb it right down anyway.
Hey, I want to thank you for dumbing it right down, that you didn't get too deep into it, because, finger would have went up in
any big
nose,
words either.
and my head would have
It was, we kind of had to anyway, didn't we? Because if you wanted to properly look into it, then
It's Ed Bender. It is an Ed Bender.
It's definitely it is.
No, but you got it's just the way it was. It turned out to be a good show.
There is one that I wouldn't mind doing a quick couple of minutes on, if you don't mind, gents.
Go for it.
Got a 2-hour slot anyway, so
I'm just going to pull this up really quickly. Where are you, you little...
in your own time, mate.
Hang on, I'm going as quick as I can. My one finger typer. It's... mate, honest to God. Yeah, that was it.
I was going to say something, but I won't.
Yeah, probably best. Right, Ron Hubbard.
Well, you're talking about the Church of Scientology right there, right? Creepy. That is creepier than any horror movie or real life. It makes truth stranger than fiction, even though he is a fiction writer. But it just what he does, it's like a brainwashing mentality. And we talk about the Illuminati. We talk about the.
This is what I was hoping you'd link into. I mentioned Scientology.
Yeah.
I only mentioned the founder of the Church of Scientology, and Kurt, I'll give you your views on that, mate. You linked it straight away and knew exactly what I was getting at. And you know, I personally feel that the two are pretty much one and the same. I mean, obviously we don't have the time to run through it all now.
That could be
as to why, but I'm hoping I'm going to discuss. Well, I'm going to discuss this with Steve, and I think this might be something that we could possibly look at for a possible show in the future also, because I've watched something on Scientology, and there's a lot. Again, it goes back to symbolism. A lot of it is involved, and the way things work on a ladder scale, you've got to pay to get ahead, and you know, you've got these little imps like Tom Cruise who are
Travolta too was
Travolta, yeah. Leah Remini, she was another one. She managed.
Oh, was she really?
Yeah, she managed to get away from it. But a lot of people don't manage to get away from Scientology and live to tell the tale.
It's a horror story. I mean, it's a real life horror story. I mean,
it is, and there's all. I mean, if you think of like the FBI, not the FBI, like the likes of the FBI, America's Secret Service, and all that kind of gaff, all the spooks that they've got around the streets and all that kind of thing. These have got them also, and I normally don't watch anything to do with any form of religion whatsoever. If I was going to be tied to a religion, it'd probably be Buddhism.
Yeah,
because he's a little fat dumpy dude, just like myself, and he seems to have the right idea where he's just sitting out chilling. Yeah, that's all I want to do. Just be a little fat stumpy guy chilling out.
Well, you got 2 out of 3 going for you.
Yeah, because I'm far from chilled.
I'm not one to talk because I am Buddha, dude. You just didn't know it yet.
I know exactly where it was going. I was one step ahead, mate. But again, I don't normally watch anything to do with religion at all, because my own personal view, it's the biggest money maker the world has ever seen. Again, that could be another show.
Well, look at it, but to feed into what you're saying, though, look at it. All 3 of us are Catholic. Look at the Catholic Church. Unbelievable. And the amount of money that they hold, and the amount of art, and the amount, I mean, Vatican City is just, oh my God, it's like streets are truly paved with gold almost. Yeah. Not really, but in a sense, I mean.
Do you know what? Have you ever come across what the birth rate is at Vatican City?
Actually, I have not, actually.
Have a guess and a rough estimate of what the birth rate is at Vatican City.
That's going to be weird. Maybe 1,000 a year.
Really?
That's my wild guess. It's just. Are you serious?
It's Vatican City.
How? In what sense?
It's a trick question.
Vatican Yeah. I don't know where to go with this one on this, but. Zero?
It's a trick question.
I did not know that.
Why would
the growth rate is absolutely none unless somebody moves there for a certain reason. You get population is probably just very.
The holy people living there, mate.
I'm getting the sense that you don't know where Vatican City is.
It's inside of Italy. It's part of.
It's certainly not my house.
No. You can populate an island, dude, but you'd be lucky because you probably get a good island, you know.
Oh yeah, good genes.
Good genes. There you go. See, the Irish don't inbreed. I think the English have a bit of inbreeding in their history going on. Nothing. Not like Americans don't in West Virginia. I mean, that's our whole inbreeding system stems from. But royalty and stuff like that is where I'm kind of going with. I mean, there's a lot of theory behind that too, because in World War I, everybody involved was related to each other one way or another.
Well, I think the Queen was. I think the Queen's part German, isn't she? She's like half German or quarter German or some shite. I don't know. I'm not that interested. She's somebody else who I couldn't care less about.
Fair enough.
I think, I think Steve, I think we can have a discussion over a couple of things that we could possibly look at.
Yeah, we've got definitely a few things to look at, like
already. You know what I mean? So we can bounce them around, see what's what.
we'll get Ed involved and make sure he has the right information this time. Yeah, but I think we should wrap up, and because I need to go and fill myself full of nicotine.
Me too.
I need to go and fill myself full of caffeine. So
Steve, you need some. How about you take a sleeping pill and go to sleep, dude?
Are you kidding? Is you seriously?
Dude, Steve, I wake up in the morning at 6 a.m. Well, I haven't slept for another night. I'm like, dude, no wonder you don't feel well. You're wearing your body thin, man. And I don't mean that as a poke at you. It's not like that. I don't mean it in any way. You know, you wear your mind. You know.
Go on, backpedal.
I got a backpedal, man. I really did take a shot. Steve, I wasn't taking a poke at you. I promise, because I'm not one to talk. So, I know. I just, you know, you just worry. You know, I'm like, man, you all right? You know, and stuff like that.
Steve's fine. He's
needs to slow down. Mind races.
Steve's had about 12 hours sleep in the last 10 years. Steve's fine. He's like,
you know him a lot better than
human cyborg. He's great.
Yeah, I'm like, do you know what you did? These like UFO stories of like the hybrids and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I was the blueprint.
Well, we were worried. We always had
bred.
Steve wants to flick them off, but he can't. Okay, I wanted to get that one out of you, Steve. That's all I wanted to the end of the show. So that's fair game. We actually
it's nearly midnight. I'm sure we're past the watershed by now.
But the good thing about it, though, what you did bring up, which was good, was I found the most interesting to wrap this up from my aspect was the whole Disney thing.
Yeah.
You know, because I really every day you don't think of Disney. You see these stupid teen shows they have now, and then I see videos of old Steamboat Willie on YouTube, and then the in between.
Disney are notorious for it.
That's what was so interesting for me in regards to all the artists that have come out of there. Like I named them all early on. There's probably more than I can think of. Britney Spears. Britney Spears was an interesting one because she went a bit too lally and shaved her head in public and stuff like that.
She lost her mind, but then they're under pressure too.
She was also meant to be in with Kabbalah.
Yeah. Well, actually, one of I totally forgot was Katy Perry. She actually left and then went back. So she's probably worse. You know what I mean? Because she knows.
Hang on, back up a minute. She's gone
from where to where?
Well, she was. I think she was part of the Disney Club crew. I'm not too sure on that one. She had a sort of small or minor singing career. Didn't think it was for her and left. And then after she, never got a decent career going elsewhere, she went back to the music industry.
What gets me though isn't the family highly Catholic? His family are like meant to be Catholic.
I don't. To be honest with you, I don't think religion really got anything to do with it.
Well, it's just phallic objects knocking around your daughter. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but at that sort of money, how are you going to stop it?
You pull your daughter away from it.
How?
But I don't know. Punish it in some way.
How would you do it? I mean, but it gets that big.
Lock her in a tower high up in the sky.
There's nothing you can do. It's too much influence everywhere, which is ridiculous.
Well, it's the Western thought mentality too. I mean, you could say the Illuminati created that also at the same time.
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't actually be such a bad argument, that actually, because it's probably happened a long time ago, back in the 1770s, whatever, maybe. And it's from that moment on, it's just spread.
But you've also
quietly getting on with it.
Well, again, you've got the all-seeing eye.
Yeah.
What are we all looking into right now?
The all-seeing eye. That's pretty weird, dude. You brought it up. That's kind of I didn't even thought of that.
It's a fit way to end the show.
It's everywhere. You've got CCTV cameras everywhere, every junction.
I think England has them. I mean, DC has them. Obviously, you go to every street, you're under that. But it's rare in other cities. But it's true.
So
they tracked everything.
You've got one on the back. You also have one on the front.
Yeah, same here.
Same one, yeah.
You've also all three of us are all looking into.
We're going to be traced. We can be traced so easy.
Yeah.
By doing this, no matter what we say, if we slander, we're going to hear. If we,
that's it. In my point of view on that particular point, there is. What's the point in trying to be all sneaky and hiding? Because they're going to find out. They'll find out if they want to.
They can trace you anywhere you go.
Precisely. So
Yeah.
The more and more people that just fuck it, just I'm going to say what I say, and if you don't like it, then do what you want. And the more and more people that do that, that's when the people will start making a difference.
Yeah, that's when you put down your guard. That's when it happens.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not even that. It could be when your guard's at its highest. You're not expecting it, then, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you see what we've been saying over the last couple of hours now, what I just said to do with the all-seeing eye cam, the webcam that we've got going there, phones, whatever else, microphone, at some point in the last 2 hours, what's to say that we haven't already been snooped on by some form of agency?
Yeah, we could
Take the video itself. The video itself will automatically upload onto YouTube once it's finished, which is a subsidiary country of Google, which is owned by Microsoft.
Google wants to know your. Google wants to know.
They also do work for the NSA with Google Maps and stuff.
Yes, they do.
They're on the NSA database.
Yeah, Google is nasty. They want to know everything about you.
That's Kate will back me up on that. It's a guaranteed fact.
Yeah.
We're already on the NSA's database already.
Yeah, because we've already put out videos.
Somebody that isn't.
Preppers, maybe. I mean, people that live off the grid.
People who live in caves and stuff like that.
Literally.
Yeah.
Well, they're out there though. I mean, there's still like this movement's taking place. Even in England, it's been taking place.
Mate, you know what? I met a girl today. I go to a support meeting every Thursday.
Yeah, I understand.
I met this girl in there today, and she's one of them where I thought she just took her shoes off in the room just for comfort. No, she didn't. She walked from the train station to where the meetings are getting held barefoot.
Yeah.
Because it heightens your senses, apparently.
Yeah. Because the soles of your feet are touching the floor, not the shoes.
Exactly. And she doesn't wear shoes or socks.
Did she smell? Did it just reek?
I gotta be honest, I didn't get that close.
Good.
If he were black, they were dirty. But well, what do you expect for walking barefoot? I just made up she didn't walk in dog shit. So
yeah, but still though, it's the whole thing about getting off.
You aren't gonna get caught in it.
Getting off the grid is a lot, but it takes a lot. It takes survival practice. It takes the ability to hunt. You can't use any credit cards. Cash, you can't put your cash in a bank account unless you're doing it through someone else.
Exactly.
I mean, there's so many. I mean, and they'll still be able to ping you one way or another. I mean, through satellite.
Yeah, but it'll take 10 times as long.
Yeah.
If you've got nothing on you that's traceable, i.e. a mobile phone, anything electronic, basically, really, in it,
Yeah,
unless you've been microchipped. Even your dog. If you
microchip
your dog,
yep,
that's another way to trace it, isn't it?
Well, Find Your Phone too. Remember, I mean, was it iPhone that has that? I can't remember where this is. The Find Your Phone thing, where if you lose it, you can somehow look it up.
A lot of them do, yeah. It's
Samsung have got like a website you can go to, haven't they?
Yeah, they say it's for your safety. iPads, basically anything from Apple, you can do it with. And some Android devices.
For example, is the recent Windows 10 update that I've just had. Now we're on this subject. What's his name? Bill Gates. You're about to get your glasses bloody smashed. Put it that way. When you as default setting Windows 10, when you go to the privacy settings, it's set as default this. So this goes. If anyone's paying attention to this, you need to pay it, sort it out straight away. All the privacy settings, they're sending information every time you press get keystroke. Every site that you go on, everything that you search for, every stuff that you receive in your emails, even your voice recognition, your speech patterns get sent to Microsoft by default.
Whoa!
So it's not hard for them, like if some big atrocity at some country.
No, I've had Windows 10 updates. Exactly. I've had the Windows 10 update now for about 2 weeks, something like that.
You had a lot of trouble with that, didn't you?
Say again.
You had a lot of trouble with that.
Well, I'm still getting a lot of trouble with it. I went offline a couple of times tonight as well.
Yeah. Have you thought about dropping it and going back to 8 or something?
I don't think I can, no.
No, I don't think you can uninstall it.
That's another problem. It was an automatic update. I had never asked for it. It was just an automatic update. They've updated from 10.8.1 to 10. Jump straight to 10.
Oh, but Jesus.
The privacy settings on them are an absolute bitch. You have got to get in. The first thing you should do is turn them all off.
Do you want to install Windows 10? Press no.
No.
I think that the more updates there are now for the likes of your laptop, why does it need updating so regularly when previous to that it was every few years?
Yes, 7. Everything works on 7 still too. I mean,
yeah, I mean it will do because it's like from the iPhone 5 upwards, everything's going to be compatible in one way or another. They changed the style of the phone charger itself, the iPad charger, from being say like an inch long to being
micro kind of
So you know they're making their money back in that sense. But again, is it something to do with being able to track what you're doing? You know, and I think that's what it is, because from you had Windows 95, then you had Windows 97, and it was every couple of years, every 3 years, something like that, before you got an update for your Windows system. Now it seems to be every year to 18 months you're getting an update of some form for it. There's absolutely no need for them to do it.
But they do it anyway.
So, and it's exactly what Steve's just been saying, to do with like all your keystrokes, whatever mouse movement you're making.
I mean, I had an idea.
Everything you're doing is tracked, anyway. And that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, I had an idea they could do that anyway, but only if they wanted to or had reason to. You know what I mean? From a legal standpoint.
They've got reason to, by proxy. Because everybody now is a potential terrorist.
Yeah,
even saying terrorist now, that can throw up red lights in.
Yeah, of course it will.
Countries, you know what I mean? Yeah. You know, I could have someone bursting my door down in 3 hours saying, "Oh, you said terrorist and terrorism and terror this and terror that." Well,
just make sure your missus hasn't got the chia pata flower out.
Oh God, no! I'll have to have me flip flops, but yeah. That's the way it's saying. Big Brother's in it, and it all goes back to that one thing.
They snuck the Windows 10 privacy issue under well, they tried to sneak it under the radar. It never worked because people got onto it. Thankfully, someone put it out there on the internet, which is where I found it. That's what the internet's for the right reasons.
Yeah, but if you look at it from a sensible point of view now. I mean, this is the last I'm going to say on it, because we need to wrap up now.
Yeah.
But it all goes back to the same thing, mate. Big Brother's watching. It's the all seeing. Aye.
It is.
And with that, I'd like to say thanks for watching, everybody. Kurt, thanks for jumping on last minute.
Yeah, thanks a lot, mate.
That was a great show.
We'll get you on pretty soon, mate. One of us will be in touch with you at some point.
Yeah.
Steve.
Take it easy.
You know, it's been another interesting show, and we'll all catch up very, very soon. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching Beyond the White Noise Paranormal Conspiracy Corner. I'm Aaron O'Rourke, Stephen Foy,
signing off,
and Kurt Logsdon. Stay classy, San Diego.
See us.